guys, I'm ChezPride, and today for my first video of 2026, I want to do a new YouTube channel introduction video because I am starting a new chapter here on my channel today. After almost 10 years of making nothing but Sims 4 and Sims related videos, I am now expanding my horizons and starting to slowly add in playing new games, including non-EA games, to my channel. Mainly cozier or building games, or maybe just like games from when I was younger, but I would also like to include new stuff and like try new games as well. But I think I'm going to start out by adding Tiny Glades and Minecraft first, and then we will slowly start adding in others over time. But as of now, The Sims 4 is still going to be my main game that I play and make videos on, because The Sims is my special interest and has been since The Sims 2 and Sims 3 days, and this was always meant to be a simming YouTube channel from the start. Like, it was always the goal to play Sims on this channel. But just after this whole EA sellout to the people with morals and business plans that I really don't agree with, and also the recent rumors of like the next expansion pack being the last expansion pack, it's not a fact, so don't quote me. I'm just like, I feel like now is a better time than ever, especially with it being the start of the year, to start sprinkling in new games throughout my content just to spice things up and maybe take a little bit of attention away from EA. Not saying we'll never play another EA game, but it'll probably mostly not be other EA games. My goal with having this channel is for me to have a creativity, therapeutic escape, and a safe place to deal with my life that's just a distraction from everything going on. And that is what I use Sims for since my dad died, and 20 years later I am still going strong playing The Sims, which is why this was originally a Sims channel, but like I said, now we're expanding. But my other goal in having this channel is also to be a safe and enjoyable place for viewers, and I want this to be a place where I and other people are just free to be themselves, and you can just come here and be accepted and just get a distraction from this world that really honestly kind of sucks. Which is why from the very start of my channel, I've always said that I will never take money for my videos, because one, this is a safe place for me and other people. It's not a job. But two, I want everyone to know that my thoughts are like literally genuine and not being swayed by money or, you know, getting free content or anything. More so when I make reviews on the packs that I buy, because like I buy all these packs, I generally want to review them and give my honest opinion. And also, I just want that to be more so with like the EA sellout, because there was a time I thought about applying to be like one of the people in the loop that you can sign up, be like, hey, I make content, and be a part of their team. But now with this whole like EA sellout, I just don't think I could ever be associated with EA like that. Like, I would never want to make money for the content they produce, no matter if I'm enjoying it for my personal use or not. That's just how I kind of stand on that. So I just really wanted to express that so you guys can really try to feel that this is a safe place on the internet for you, and not somewhere that I'm trying to say opinions that aren't mine or change your opinions, because your opinions and how you live your life, as long as you aren't hurting people, is none of my business. And with that being said, this is just my hobby. My real job is actually a pharmacy tech, so that does take up a good bit of my time, along with like my mental and physical health is a factor in my time being taken up, plus just like life and my animals and whatnot. So I'm not always the fastest at putting videos out, even though I do put out review videos, but I also do tend to put longer videos because I try to make my videos very detailed as well as very inclusive. At least that is my goal. I try to be as detailed as possible in my reviews and my videos, and just honestly my ideas in general. And then also I am big on coexist, and I try to support what I believe in without causing conflict. So I don't talk about politics here on my channel, but we do have a lot of LGBTQ content, and we talk about mental health sometimes. And I try to be as very inclusive in all races and genders, not just male and female, but all races and genders, as well as my American stupid self can, because I know I'm not the most educated person out here, but I'm trying my best to learn and to be really inclusive with everyone. But to sum up my point, I try to be all accepting and keep positive vibes on this channel. So if I do see hateful comments toward others or groups of others, I will be removing them so no one else sees that and feels outcasted, because I grew up in the outcast groups and I can know how much that sucks to just see someone hate on something that you genuinely just can't help about yourself. So do keep in mind when you're commenting on this channel that we try to be a safe place here. And also, I would rate my channel PG-13, leaning a little bit more towards the mature side. So this is definitely not a kids channel, but I do put out footage of me playing The Sims 4, other Sims games, and now other games. And all that includes stuff like Let's Plays, challenges, character making, building, reviewing packs like DLCs, and Sims related news videos. But with all that being said, since I am refreshing my channel, I thought might as well make a new channel introduction video so I can introduce myself to anyone that is new or just doesn't know a lot about me and wants to, as well as you can just get to know about my channel a little bit and decide if you want to subscribe or not. But if you do, hi, welcome. Like I said, my name is ChezPride, or my legal name is Kat. And I love playing The Sims and games that just make me feel in control and happy. And today, I want to go in The Sims 4 and give my Sim self my Sims Dream Makeover. And I will be using this version of my Sim self in an upcoming mini-series that we are going to be playing through on this channel. And throughout this video, while I'm giving myself this, quote, dream makeover, I'm going to be giving you guys at least 10 facts about myself so you can just get to know me a little bit better as a person. But also, if you want to get to know me a little bit better as a person, I am on Instagram and I post every single time I make a video. So like I'll post a thumbnail with like a description of the video so you can see if you want to go watch it. But also I post stuff like my photography and pictures of my pets and just pictures to do with my social life, just stuff like that over on that channel. So if you want to go check out my Instagram, I'm very heavily on there and it is linked in the bio as well on my channel, but it's just Chez_Pride. So I say without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into what this actual video is about, and that is giving myself a dream makeover, because basically I want to do a mini series as kind of a start to the new year thing where I play as myself with my cat and one of my dogs, and we live alone in a castle doing my dream job and completing my soul's journey. And the end of the Let's Play will be when I complete my soul's journey. So basically I build myself my dream modern castle. So it's like a gothic castle with like kind of like a modern renovation almost. And then we have went ahead and redid all of Glimmerbrook and just turned it into a gothic mansion area. So there's just like gothic buildings everywhere. And we are going to be living in that neighborhood and just playing my life and seeing how long it takes me to complete my soul's journey. But to do that, I obviously cannot be wearing stuff like this. Like, I mean, I could, it's just, it wouldn't look as good. So I figured, why not give myself a dream makeover? So in this video, I want to take my Sim self and turn it into my dream Sim self in that scenario. So kind of like as if I was living at the Renaissance Festival, because, you know, that's honestly kind of accurate. I mean, not accurate living there, but you'll see a little bit later on in the video why that is so accurate. But pretty much, I want to give myself like a modern medieval look, but like dream makeover. So I'm gonna redo my hair and, you know, do my nails and my makeup and all my outfits. And like I said, as I do that, I'm going to be giving facts about myself. But I say before we get into the actual looks, I want to get into my personality and my orientation and all that, so you can kind of get to know about me me. But like I said, it's going to be my dream makeover. So I kind of want to change my traits into what ideally my personality would be, like my positive parts of my personality. I don't want to be socially awkward, which I feel like is super accurate, but I don't want to be socially awkward. So let's go ahead and start out by going into sexual orientation. As you can see here, my gender identity is female. I was born female. I just feel like I am truly female, but nothing against trans. Like, I think if you are finding out who you are, that is great, and you do you, divide however you want. And if I ever misgendered you online or in person ever, just slap me across the face. Just be like, bitch, look, this is what I go by. And it may take me a couple tries, but I will at least make the attempt, especially if it's they, them. I do struggle with they, them pronouns, but it's not because I am accepting. Again, I'm just a stupid American, and the way that the nouns were, or pronouns were presented to me growing up is very hard for me to rewire they, them not being plural and it being singular, but I'm working on it. I've made Sims to where they're they, them, and then she, her, or they, them, he, him. And that tends to help me like kind of learn my way into it. But I have so much trouble with they, them, but I think it is great for people who are. So I'm just like, if I ever misgender a Sim or you, I apologize now if that's triggering, but I am female myself. And in a dream world, we're not going to talk about this too much, but in a dream world, I would not be able to get pregnant and I would not be able to produce milk. I don't want to be a mom. Okay. We're not going to talk about it. And I did put that I can't use the toilet standing, but in a dream world, I could use the toilet standing. Like, I wish. Like, that's the only part of me that like makes me not want to be female, is because I want to be able to freaking stand at the toilet and just piss in it. Then as far as my sexual orientation goes, I am actually pansexual, and I actually always knew this. I've talked about my coming out story before, so I won't go over my full coming out story. Maybe one day I'll redo my coming out story, because that was like 5 years ago, or maybe even longer now that I came out with my coming out story. But basically, I always knew. I was very sheltered. I was very much had a Christian grandmother who raised me. I love her. She did her best. And in the end, she came around and was very accepting of homosexuality, but she was very sheltering. And it was just kind of to the point that like, I didn't know that gay, straight, bi, pan, all of that was a thing. Like, I just didn't know. Like, I just assumed because I knew I was attracted to everyone. Like, my first crush was Hillary Duff. Like, I knew at 4 years old that I was into females, and I knew I was into males because, you know, there was other males in my life at that age that I was like, oh, they're cute. So I just assumed that's how everyone functioned. And I didn't know because it was just not talked about. I mean, I had a gay uncle, and I knew like there was always a guy that came with him, but I never thought about it. I was just like, oh, that's Uncle Tony and Uncle Jesse. Like, I never thought, oh, Uncle Carl and Aunt Becky are male and female. Uncle Tony and Uncle Jesse are male. It just didn't like register me that it was a thing. So I always knew I was pansexual, but the concept was not explained to me till the early 2000s. And when in the early 2000s, there was no pansexual. There was barely bisexual. Like, bisexual was still a concept that like people were hating against. Like, gays would hate against bis because they weren't gay enough, and straights would hate against bis because they were gay. So it's just like they were having trouble then. So pansexual wasn't even a term when it was explained to me, but basically it was explained that there's gay, straight, and bi, and as through my friends at middle school, and I was like, oh, well, then I guess I'm bi. And it was just from there on out, I was bi. Like, I had to come out to people in my life, and I got kicked out of church and whatnot. I said I wouldn't go into my coming out story, but yeah, I just kind of always knew. And then later on, when I was older and I was more educated and learned about other sexual orientations other than just gay, straight, bi, then I was like, oh, I'm pansexual. So that is my sexual orientation orientation. So that is my first fun fact, is that I am pansexual. And now, in a dream world, I would not be a regular sim. I would be a cult. I would have magic. And honestly, I should probably choose fairy, because second fun fact, I actually play a fairy at a Renaissance festival twice a year. So in September and April in Danielsville, Georgia, if you are around, I don't know if anyone that watches this video would be from Georgia, but if you are from Georgia, twice a year, or it's 4 weekends twice a year, so every weekend of April and every weekend of September, the Danielsville has a Renaissance festival, and I play their fairy. So in the fall, I play a fall fae named Fallen, and in the spring, I play a flower fairy named Frieza. So that is kind of like my big thing. And when I was younger, I actually played a fairy at the Georgia Renaissance Festival as well. Not like the official fairies that go around and talk to kids or anything, but there's a kaleidoscope shop, and my sister travels with the Renaissance Festival, has for over 20 years now. We have been going to the Renaissance Festival since she was 4 years old, and she is 12 years older than me. So this is like a family thing. Like, we've always gone to the Georgia Fair, and we've always gone to other state fairs. And if we found out about little fairs, we would go to the ones. It's just always been a thing. Like, Renaissance fairs have always been a thing. But when I would go with my sister, she would be working. So she actually had me a job where I would dress up as a fairy and sprinkle fairy dust on other kids and like tell them, well, I was like a preteen at the time, but would tell like the kids, like, if you have a good day, if you'll wear this fairy dust and whatnot and stuff like that. So now I play a fairy at a local Renaissance festival twice a year. So April and September, I do tend to upload less. It's because I'm working my job as a fairy, and I sell like fairy dust and, do activities with the patrons and stuff like that. So it's a fun gig, but it is the second fun fact about myself. But in a dream world, I wouldn't be a fairy. I don't want to. Like, I like playing a fairy. I don't know if I would be a fairy. I feel like I would be a spellcaster or a witch. I have always wanted magical powers. Like, that has just been a dream of mine since I was a kid. Like, even, I think for, like, the first Halloween, I got to decide what I wanted to be myself when I was, like, 3 or 4. I was like, I want to be a purple and black witch. And that's exactly what I was. And the idea of magic power, I know, magic comes with the price, dearie. The idea of having magical powers just is amazing to me. So I would definitely be a spellcaster. So I'm turning myself into a spellcaster. And now let's go into traits and aspirations. So aspiration, I think I'm gonna keep, because honestly, I am a huge pet lover. Like, I have had guinea pigs, I've had hamsters, I've had turtles, I've had bird, I've had fish, even though I have phobia of fish. I've had cats, I've had dogs, I've had little bunnies. Like, I've just had so many creatures. Like, I have rescued so many animals, like especially dogs. We have rescued too many dogs in the last decade. Oh my goodness. But I have loved them all. I have loved them all, even the puppies that were born. And like, at one point I had 12 animals. Like, before my house had the fire, like, I'm temporarily living at my mom's house because I have a fire at the house I inherited from my grandma when she passed, after me and my husband at the time kept care of her before she passed. I literally at one point had 12 animals, between the turtles, the guinea pigs, and the freaking dogs and cats. With the puppies, I had 12 animals. Right now, at my mom's house, including her animals, there's 1 cat and 5 dogs. That's not a lot for me. So I feel like friend of the animals is very accurate. Plus, like, my yard is just like a magnet for animals somehow. Like, I don't know how. Just somehow, like, all those stray animals or animals that can't find their way home somehow end up in my yard, and I end up having to find them, because when I have my house, like, I live in the middle of the country, so it's just like, like, what you gonna do when an animal comes to your yard and they just don't leave and don't go home? You have to help them find their owner. So I've done a lot of animal rescuing, a lot of animal home finding, and I have rescued a lot of animals myself, and I just feel like friend of the animals perfect for me. But traits, I don't want to keep these exact traits because these traits were given truthfully. I am a geek, and I'm actually kind of proud of that. I'm not the hugest geek there is, but I especially over my special interests like shows and whatnot, I am definitely a big geek. I very much will keep that trait, but like perfectionist and socially awkward just, it's gotta go. It's gotta go. If I'm putting in my dream scenario, I'm not gonna be socially awkward. Perfectionist, I feel like could come out in a better way because I am a perfectionist overall, but I feel like I do really let it shine through my creativity. So I feel like if I put creative, that's better than perfectionist, as well as I want to just replace socially awkward. If I am not going to be socially awkward, I might as well be the opposite and be self-assured. So in this dream scenario, I'm not socially awkward, I'm self-assured. But that is going to be my traits. And then there's already a bunch of preferences listed and whatnot. I'll go over activities: baking, dancing, media production, photography, romance, singing, video gaming, wellness, and writing are all my favorite hobbies, which is pretty much true. That's what, like, kind of been my standard for a long time. But stuff I specifically don't like are rock climbing, robotics, mischief, handiness, gardening, fitness, fishing, and cooking. I hate all of those. Like, and that's accurate in real life. These are all things I really dislike and like. So that's that. And then as far as colors go, basically I've always said my favorite colors are black and rainbow because I do like a rainbow outlined in black. Like, I think that's really cool. Like, that's like my favorite concept is like black with a rainbow on it. But if I had to break down my actual favorite colors, my favorite colors are black, silver, teal, purple, and neon green. So those are like my favorite colors. Like, I cannot choose between those colors. I guess if I had to choose the top three, maybe it would be black, teal, and purple. But silver and neon green are both so beautiful, I can't leave them out. So those are my favorite colors. I'm not going to go through the rest of my interests. Like, all of that's not really that important. I just put that on there because I was making the sim. But with that being said, let's go into actually doing the makeover. So I say without further ado, let's jump into the actual makeover. And I did warn you guys that I would be changing my physical appearance a little bit. So if you don't want to hear about weight loss, then, you know, maybe skip this part. But I am going to just give myself slight weight loss. I am currently losing weight. Like, why did that make my shoulders look so much smaller? Stretch those back out. Basically, I want to just give myself just a little bit of weight loss because I am currently on a weight loss journey and I have lost almost a little bit over 30 pounds since coming off birth control. So I would like to just give myself just slight less weight, but not change anything too crazy. Just make those couple of touch up changes, maybe make my arms a little bit smaller, you know, just give myself my realistic goal, which is about right here. Like, I'm not too far from my goal, but I am happy that I'm losing weight. So I am going to give myself a little less weight. And right quick, also, if you didn't see my tattoo video, let me go ahead and show off all my tattoos real quick because I don't have any tattoos that aren't on my sim right now. So basically, I have a keyhole in the back of the neck. There's that. And then if we go into actual tattoos here, I'm going to show off what I can without going into paint mode. But basically, this dagger is actually supposed to be between the cleavage, but basically, it's a Rumpelstiltskin dagger, but instead of saying Rumpelstiltskin, it says my maiden name. And then I have these two bats here. I do have a golden snitch. Do not come for me. I am supportive of trans. I do not like the author of Harry Potter. However, Harry Potter was a huge part of me growing up, like to the point I went to every single premiere for the movie the night it came out. So it's just like it was before all this. I got the tattoo before the stuff about J.K. Rowling came out really heavily. I don't regret that tattoo because I do love the story of Harry Potter. I just don't agree with the morals of who wrote it. So that's all I'm going to say on that. But then I also have a coexist tattoo on my shoulder, but instead of a pentagram, there is a troll head doll, because coexist was a concept that I now live by, but it was taught to me by someone who was like a second dad to me and passed away, so I got this tattoo in honor of them. And then I also have, you can kind of see the Jack Skellington head here, but there is also half of a yin yang sign here on this arm as a tattoo with someone. I have a whole spooky thing going on here. So there's a bat with the moon and a graveyard. I'm going to add to it. And my whole back eventually is going to be a spooky like mural basically. But that's the start of it. And then you can't really see my ankles that well. But as you can see here, there's 2 tattoos here. So I have VFD tattoo, like the eye that St. Olaf puts on his ankle, but it's on this side because I already had a tattoo on the other side. And then I have a TARDIS on top of it, and then I have a coffee cup on this ankle, which was the most painful tattoo I've ever gotten. Let me see if I can go closer into paint mode with it. Actually, as you can kind of see here, the tattoo here is a coffee cup with like heart artwork, and it says Gma, and that's like my tattoo for my grandma. And then I have wrist tattoos as well. If we go into paint mode here and put up the other wrist, there we go. We have my Sims tattoo. So we have a Sims tattoo here, and then it has the 3 gamer hearts up here. And then if we go out of paint mode and switch to this arm and then go back into paint mode, I wish I could put their arms up without me having to go into paint mode, because it blurs out all the other parts. But basically, this was my first tattoo, this one on my wrist, and it says Best Buddies, and it's like a tattoo for my dad. And then I have 2 purple hearts on either side of it. They're not quite that big, but I was having trouble making them smaller. So that is all my tattoos. I do plan on getting more. Honestly, I'm probably going to get more before the end of the year. That is just my current tattoos. I did do a whole tattoo video of me making those tattoos if you're interested though. Let's go into my hair, because the hair I had was actually pretty much my accurate hair. So basically my hair is like this, but it has a longer black layer underneath. I've been rocking an underlayer of black for like 4 years now. I've been dyeing my hair since I was in 9th grade and have not stopped dyeing my hair. I've had every color under the sun. I don't think there's a single color I haven't had. I've even had multiple colors at once. I think the most colors I've had at once was like 4 colors at once. I don't know. I've done a lot to my hair, but the hair shape is pretty much just like this, with the bang being a little bit heavier. Like I have a slight more emo bang most of the time, and then it has a black layer underneath. But if I had my dream hair and it doesn't have the underlayer of black. This, if I could have the length in my hair I want it, my hair would look like this. And my hair is naturally wavy. I've dyed it so much, the wave does come out of it. So when I put product in my hair, it does come out super wavy like this. But just imagine this with a little bit more coverage on the forehead with a black layer underneath. Like that's like my dream hair right there. Honestly, this is my dream hair color. Like this is my favorite hair color, but this is my current hair color. So we're going to use that. And with that, I feel like we can start going into the makeup and whatnot. Oh, also, if I had my dream ears or my dream life, I would have pointy ears. Like big enough points where you can see them. Like I think pointy ears are literally the cutest thing ever. Like I am obsessed with pointy ears. If I had the choice of giving myself a body modification, that would be it. So I'm giving myself pointy ears. Oh, also vampire teeth. Because why would I not want things? If I didn't already have an implant, I would totally get vampire teeth. But I don't want to mess up my implant. But I'm going to give myself that because I feel like it's accurate. I do also have a lip ring, but they don't have lip rings in The Sims 4. So I can't have my lip ring. I'm very sad about it. But let's go ahead and do makeup. Eyebrows honestly are fine, but I have been experimenting with being a little bit more bold on my makeup since the last time I I made a sim, so I think I'm going to try to be a little bit more bold on my makeup. So let's go ahead and definitely want to do some kind of smoky eye because that is my favorite. Let's see, come here. Let's see. I want smoky eye. Let's see. I want a little bit of crazy smoky eye. I could do the fairy for the fairy part of my job. That's not smoky eye. No, that's not dark enough. I don't like the white under that. I really don't like a white under my eye. That's just too boring. There's not as many options as I thought there would be. I guess the butterfly for the fact that I'm a fairy. And honestly, my wilder makeup did start when I was doing stuff for the fairy. So maybe I'll just give myself like a bit of a crazier eyeliner. And I use that one on other sims a lot. I don't know if I should use that myself. Let's see. What about, and I kind of like this. It's not too crazy. There's also the high school years one. I kind of like the point on that one. I'm not going to do the crying makeup. That's too much. I'm an emo kid, not to that level. Oh, I don't know. I kind of like this. Like it has the 2 points and it goes out to the side. I think that's quite nice. And then I could always see if there's this makeup, which is really fun. Actually, I kind of really like that. But I think I'm going to leave it in black. Yeah, I kind of like it in the black. Okay, so maybe we do that. And maybe we can, I normally never wear a bold lipstick. But maybe I could do like a slightly bold lipstick. I don't know, maybe we'll do it like that. And then also, I don't think this makeup was out when I last made my self. And I like the idea of having this little stripe. I think this is cute. Maybe not so dark, not so pink. Oh my god, I would never wear that pink. Okay, maybe like that. That's kind of cute. Should I put on these? Let me give myself bigger lashes because why not? I can. All right, so we can do that. So I have makeup on in every category because I just feel like if my sim's gonna wear makeup in one category, they should wear it in all categories. Also, I could totally give myself a little choker because I love wearing my little choker. This is like pretty much my exact choker. Perfect. Okay, apply that to all outfits. Also, if I'm gonna be realistic, if I could handle wearing nails on my hands at all times, I would. Because I think they look great. And I used to love painting my nails. I like have a collection of Holo Taco. And I paint them pretty much like this to kind of do something like this. So if I could handle having these all the time, I would. So I'm going to give myself nails in my dream life, even though in real life they peel off too easily or I hate acrylics. So it's just like, no. But if I could handle them, I probably would because I like the way they look. But that is as far as stuff that goes with every outfit. Also, let's make sure the hair goes with every outfit. If I want a different hair for a specific outfit, I'll change it then. But as far as that goes, I think we're going to go into our first outfit, and that is the everyday outfit. Which leads me into where I want to drop my next fun fact about myself, and that is that I am autistic. So I was diagnosed at 9 years old with autism, and that is before people really even knew what autism was. Like, it was very much just still being learned. Like, I did not fully understand what autism was until I was in my 20s, and I was diagnosed at 9 years old. Now, I was autistic enough as a kid where very many people in my mother's life was like, hey, you might want to get tested for autism. Like, starting at the age like 5. People started telling her this. There was signs beforehand. There was signs when I woke up at 1.5 years old and a Christmas tree had grew in my living room and I had to relearn how to talk. But, you know, we just didn't know what the signs were. But I was diagnosed at a pretty young age, I would say. And as soon as I was diagnosed, like, my whole life changed. Even though I didn't understand what was going on with me. Like, I had to do stuff differently in school. I started getting treated differently in school. Like, it was just a very big change in my life. And if you're autistic, you don't like change. When I found out I was autistic. But I am glad now that I'm older that I'm more educated on it. I wish that, I don't want to say I wish people were less educated on it. I wish people would get test it before saying, hey, I'm autistic. I know not everyone can, do that, but I feel like if you have the chance and you actually think you are, that's something you should get tested. And, just even if you're not autistic, just learn about it. Like, because there's so many people that are. And that's part of the reason I am saying that I am, because I feel like just even 6 years ago, I was like, oh my God, I feel so alone. I'm like, no one around me in my life is autistic, and no one understands, and no, there's people out there who understand. Granted that every autism is different and everyone's special interests are going to be different, everyone's quirks are going to be different, but the more you can educate yourself on it, the more you'll see the similarities in everyone's autism. Not everyone's autistic, but everyone who has autism. And I feel like it's worth being educated on, because there are so many people who are undiagnosed or just don't tell you that they're autistic, and it's better to be like, hey, maybe I should treat people like this just in case they could be underlying autistic and they don't even know it or don't want to tell you, because as a person who grew up with it, it's hard and it can be embarrassing to talk about, but I feel like it plays such a big factor in who I am and how I talk about things and how I present things on my channel that it should have been mentioned in this. And also, I just like to bring autism awareness. Like, if you are autistic, you're not a freak. Your brain just works differently. And I know that sounds so confusing. Like, what do you mean my brain works differently? But just look into it, and you kind of have to figure out for yourself which parts of the autism spectrum you're on, but I feel like it's worth figuring out. But that's enough on my autism still. So next fun fact, I'm autistic. All right, let's do my everyday outfits. So I actually want to do a couple. I have a couple. Okay, I'm just going to remove whatever these are and add this. So this one, I'm going to kind of keep this one. I feel like my sim has worn this since I created her. I feel like the pants can stay. I'm going to keep the shoes in another outfit. I want to give myself stompy boots because I love the stompy boots from the grunge kit. So let's go ahead and give myself big stompy boots. And honestly, let's make them metallic. I love a rainbow, a black on a rainbow. Mwah. All right. And also, I do like to wear t-shirts, but let's just look at different options, just because we're not going to be in a very t-shirt type of area. I preferably would wear t-shirts all the time, but let's give myself something that's kind of like a t-shirt but a little bit nicer, maybe like a sweater or something, something I can wear around the house but kind of still fit the vibe of the time, but something I would actually wear. That doesn't go with the boots though. Okay, I could do that. Okay, that's more casual outfit for the non-time period. But then I want to we're going to give ourselves a really stereotypical Ren Fair outfit here. I'm thinking of a specific one. I just have to turn on the filter. I don't know what pack it is in, but I know what dress it is, and I will know when I see the stupid dress. This one. Yes. I love this dress. I also like this dress. I think this one's actually more my style. This is what I was thinking, because this is what I would wear to Ren Fair, but with layers, because I layer my skirts. But I kind of like this because this kind of looks like a layered skirt. It shows my shoes because I love wearing Converse with these type of outfits. I don't know. I like this. And then maybe I can wear my gloves, because I love a good glove. A good gothic glove is to die for. And that are these gloves. I think these gloves are to die for. I don't know. I really like these gloves. I might actually put these on this outfit. Well, it doesn't really work with this outfit. I at least give myself my scrunchie back or something. Let's do this black and gray stripe one. Okay, so we can do that as that outfit. That is that outfit. I wonder if there's any short black dresses I would like, because I do like to wear not like this. That's not it. That's not the vibe. I could see myself wearing something like this. This is more the vibe, but put it with some leggings. Honestly, the Halloween leggings are accurate. We could do the skulls. Oh, I like the skulls. Actually, I kind of like the idea of some stompy boots with this. Maybe the shorter stompy boots though. Is there a darker? I guess that'll do. So we could wear that. And then, let's see. honestly, let's just go ahead. Oh, let's actually change this over. There we go. So let's take off this. I want an outfit where I don't wear shoes because I actually hate wearing shoes. So I could wear these pants. Honestly, or do we want these pants or do I want like cozier pants? Do these come in black? No, of course they don't come in black. Why would they come in black? These look slightly more cozier though, and that shows off my ankle tattoo. So wear that. And I want to wear like a comfortable black shirt, but that would like work with what I'm going with. Oh, there's also the rainbow shirt. I may put that as one of my sleep outfits or something. Something like this. This is more what I was imagining. These pants aren't gonna work though. I wanted them to wear. Oh, these. I really like these. Or this with a little sweater. Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah, I want them in the black. So we'll do that. Maybe we'll do this outfit with shoes actually, because this just doesn't look like something I would wear without shoes. So you put these on for this outfit. But I have to have an outfit I can wear something more comfortable. So let's turn on black and we can see. Oh my god, why don't any of these look? I guess these look kind of comfortable. And then something like this, but not this. Something more along like these lines. Yeah, that's kind of comfortable looking. I think with that, we can go ahead and safely say that sums up the everyday outfits. I wasn't planning on doing this many everyday outfits, but I do love seeing Sims in different outfits. And I feel like these are pretty accurate to what I would wear in this dream scenario I'm going to be playing in. So with that, I think we can move on to the formal outfit, which is my wedding look. So this was the dress closest to my wedding dress. And honestly, like, I may just keep that as one of my outfits. But next, I want to bring on the next fact, which as of January 2026, which is when I'm recording this, I am 28 years. So I'm not quite 30, but I am 28 currently. I'll be turning 29 this year. I'm a 90s baby. Yeah, that's the whole fact. There's really not much to it. I am on level 28 of life. Somehow, still. Didn't think I was going to be here this long, but here I am. Alright, but let's go ahead. I'm going to leave the wedding dress as one outfit, but we can go ahead and get myself more. Oh, first of all, let me get myself an actual shirt and bottom as well. I feel like that would be nice to have just because I normally don't like to like funerals and stuff. Like I don't wear dresses. Like I wear like two pieces. So if I could find something for like that type of vibe, maybe I could have like this with high pants. Let's see. Is there of course there's not jean tight. Okay. I just want like a tall pants. I like skinnier pants though. On my wire pants, this is too realistic. It's like, why are the pants that I want hard to find? I guess these work. I mean, it goes pretty much up to the shirt. And I'm sorry, I can't wear these shoes. I like a wedge. Let's see if I can find something that'll work. I mean, I kind of like these. Like, these are kind of cute. This could totally be funeral attire. Let's put on, like, a bracelet or something. Let's see. Something fun to jazz it up a little bit. Always dress in black. So, maybe I'll just put, like, the black watch on. Yeah, that could be, like, a funeral look. So, I have a wedding look. I have a funeral look. And now I need, like, a short dress look for, like, I don't know, like weddings or something. This is cute in general. Wait, I may just wear this just to have it. That's really cute. Fit. Maybe like this. I do like this dress. So I feel like I would put tights with it. Yeah, that kind of fits the flowers. And then with this one, I can wear my gloves. Well, I actually like the other swatch better. Okay, so we have these. Oh, I also have these. I do like maybe I'll do one of each. A glove and a set of rings, because the ring has a rose on it and that matches the outfit. Okay, I like that. Let's see. This outfit, honestly, I think should have some cute jewelry. Maybe I'll put like a little scrunchie with it. I could put a green scrunchie with it. That's cute. This one works like this. This one is flawless. I guess I do need a long dress that's not a wedding dress. I really like this dress. I think this dress is really nice. These shoes aren't gonna work though. I could possibly wear these shoes. I don't like a heel. I like these. Some kind of sock with these. Maybe like I guess we can go with these again. Alright, so we could do like that. And maybe I can put some gloves on here. So we can wear like these gloves. That's a formal look if I've ever seen one. Alright, so here are my formal looks. We have some for different occasions. I swear I'm not going to do 5 looks for each outfit category because that would take forever, including athletic, because I really only need one athletic wear. I'm not a very athletic person. Speaking of not being athletic, my next fun fact is I'm really into like having comfort movies and comfort shows. So I watch a lot of shows and movies, mainly shows. I do love a movie. Like I like sitting down and watching a movie like to a meal or something, but if I'm going to like prefer to sit down and watch something, I'm probably going to sit there and binge watch a show before I watch a movie. But it's kind of funny that I'm such into TV and movies now because I was very, very, very sheltered as a child. Like, okay, so my grandma only allowed me to watch PBS Kids till I was 4 or 5. Then I could watch Disney Channel. And then I wasn't allowed to watch Nickelodeon until I was 13. And I was never allowed to watch Cartoon Network. Never. Like, I had to sneak and watch stuff if I wanted to watch anything other than that. Or, like, before I was 13, I had to sneak and watch Nickelodeon. Like, that's the only way I watched Invader Sims, is if I went and snuck and watch it. So, it's just, like, I was very sheltered, but I did sneak and watch stuff. I just wasn't as exposed as many other people. But as an adult, I've went back and watched all of this stuff. I'm just like, oh my god, I wish I wasn't so sheltered as a kid. But that also goes to the same with movies, is where I was like, I was only allowed to watch, like, Pixar and Disney unless my sister or mom showed it to me. Like I was, like I said, a big Harry Potter person growing up, but I basically teethed to Disney. So when it comes to my favorite shows and movies, my favorite shows are definitely my comfort shows. So that's like Invader Zim, Doctor Who, Once Upon a Time, My Little Pony, that 70s show, Full House, Young Sheldon, Big Bang Theory. So it's like stuff like that. But I do have other favorite shows. I really like Lock and Key. When I had Netflix, I watched that show a lot. The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. That's a really good show. I really like Steven Universe. I grew up loving Golden Girls and Xena. I really like Pokemon as well and stuff like that. That stuff is really fun to me. But like I said, my favorite stuff is like Disney movies and stuff. So my favorite Disney movies, I think my top 3, if I had to choose between any, would be Hercules, Pocahontas, and Nightmare Before Christmas. But I also, my favorite movie in general, like my favorite all-time movie is probably Princess Bride. Like I think that's a really good movie. Growing up, my favorite movie was Wizard of Oz. I also really like Little Nicky. Pretty much anything Tim Burton and Johnny Depp, I'm a really big fan of. Another good movie that I really loved growing up, The Secret Garden. So that's kind of like the productions that I like to watch. I really like to watch YouTube. Honestly, most of my content time does actually go to YouTube, specifically Sims YouTube and Rachel Ballinger vlogs and Joey Graceffa puppy rescue videos. Those are like my favorite things to watch on YouTube, but I do watch other things. Those are just my favorite. But for some reason, YouTube definitely is where I watch most of my stuff. Little Simsy streams, watching him back on her second channel, which Little Simsy is probably like my favorite YouTuber ever. Her streams are like 3 hours long, which is why I don't watch them live on Twitch. Also, I'm normally busy when she's live on Twitch. I end up just watching most of her VODs back just because they take so long. So that's majority of what my YouTube watching time goes to right there, because I really enjoy watching her live. I just don't like doing it when she's actually live. Alright, but that's that fun fact. So now let's move on to the athletic wear, which honestly, there's not much of a problem with this. Like, I don't really have too much of a problem with this. I might give myself a better looking top, and then maybe give myself a second outfit where it's just like shorts or something. I could give myself, I don't know, I feel like a hoodie is most realistic of what I would wear. Ooh, what about this Sims hoodie? The oversized Sims hoodie. That's where it's at. Why is that not under athletic? I legit don't understand why that's not under athletic. Alright, I could just give myself a t-shirt for this. Maybe like this, like just a funny graphic t-shirt. I think that's good. And then give myself some shorts. I don't know. I guess these, just like these in the plain black and white. I think that's nice. Oh my god, I hate my legs. Okay. Maybe I'll put my hair up for athletic wear as well. I can do a little ponytail or something. I mean, there's this. I would wear that. And there's this, but my hair is supposed to be longer than that. That makes it look like I have extensions. There's this. That's like halfway up, halfway down. I guess that could work. Let's put that as our athletic wear hairstyle, so it should transfer over to this one. All right, so we have that as our athletic wear, which means the next is the sleepwear. And I have to say the next fun fact, quote unquote fun fact, is more fitting than the rest. And that's, I have narcolepsy, which is another reason I struggle to put out videos faster than other people, because I literally just will go for, however long and then just like crash out. I have such bad narcolepsy that to not fall asleep on the road, I have to take 2 different narcolepsy medications at the highest strengths they can legally give me twice a day and still drink caffeine. And then I still sleep fine at night. It's ridiculous. And narcolepsy, if you don't know what it is, it's pretty much where you just randomly just get tired and you can't help but just go to sleep. And that includes when you're driving, when you're working, when you are pretty much doing anything. You're just like, okay, body says time to go to sleep, we're going to sleep. And pretty much the way they found out I had that is I had a brain study done because I couldn't stay awake, and they saw that every single time I go into sleep, I go straight into REM sleep, which is why I have such a hard time getting up and staying awake. So that's fun to deal with. But I am on medication for it, but it does affect my videos, like I said. But let's go ahead and do my sleepwear. I'm going to do a couple of sleepwears, and honestly, this is pretty much exactly why I sleep in. Like, this is realistic. The other option is shorts. And I know I said I hate shorts, but sleeping in shorts is the move. And honestly, this is pretty much what all my shorts look like. So I'll give that to myself. And maybe I'll give myself a updo or some kind of different hairstyle look here. And this is really oh wait, it has chopsticks in it. That would be uncomfortable. But something like that is kind of how I put my hair up to sleep. So it wouldn't be too far off to do something like that. Maybe that's a clip, isn't it? Well, I could sleep with a clip. This is fine. Let's go ahead and put this as our sleepwear hair. There we go. I feel like that's pretty realistic. All right. And then I never sleep in a nightgown, but I feel like a robe would be kind of appropriate for the period we'll be in. And then is there any other full body outfits that I would wear? This one, and this one could work. I never wear socks or shoes when I'm sleeping, so I'm not putting slippers on, but these could work as my sleepwear outfits. Obviously, I don't normally sleep in makeup, but I like my sim better in makeup, so I'm going to keep her in it. So that is my sleepwear, and then we have party wear. And for this one, what kind of music I'm into. So I feel like I have a pretty wide span of music, and I have like a good amount of different artists in my playlist. I do actually have a playlist that has a lot of the songs I listen to on it. Not every single one of them, but it has like almost 600 songs that I listen to here on my playlist if you are interested in exactly what kind of music I listen to. But I feel like I have like a decent span music. I don't listen to every single thing. Like, I don't listen to like gangster rap. I don't listen to super country. I don't listen to like, I don't know, like there's just certain things that like I'm not drawn to. Like, I don't particularly hate it. It's just like I'm not super drawn to it. But I feel like I have like a wide range for someone who's not purposely into every single thing. Like, I like metal, I like rock, I like pop, I like comedy music, I like Disney and musical music, I like 70s music, I like 80s music, I like 2000s music, and I like Renaissance music, especially Renaissance rock and roll music. There's actually this band called the Lost Boys that I've been friends with since I was like 8 years old. Like, we met them at the Renaissance Festival, and my family's been following them around the country ever since. They literally like performed at my wedding, at my anniversary party, and they're a Renaissance rock and roll band, and they're probably like my favorite band ever. Like, don't get me wrong, I love stuff like MCR and, you know, Green Day, and then, you know, of course you have stuff like Nirvana and Kiss, and, you know, there's all that music that I like, but I also really like Renaissance music and Renaissance rock music. I don't know. And then, of course, you know, growing up in Disney, I love music that's from Disney, or just musicals like The Sound of Music or Mary Poppins and whatnot. So all of that I really enjoy as well. And I grew up listening to 2000s pop, so I can't help that. Comedy, I just think is great. I love a song that can make me laugh. And then 70s and 80s music, I kind of just grew up listening to because of my mom. So, you know, that's just kind of like my range of music. And I do really enjoy listening to music. I used to actually, in the beginning of my video days, before they completely shut down your video if you put music in it, I did actually put music in my videos. And I wish that YouTube made it to where you could do it without copyright, because it didn't mind it when it just copyrighted to where I couldn't get paid for it, because again, I don't get paid for my content. I do also really miss putting music in, because now they'll like ban your video in like certain countries and whatnot. I don't want that if I can't help it. Like, if it's a review video and I'm watching a trailer and they flag it, I get it. But if it's just like something I can help, like putting a song in, I do wanted to avoid that. But I really miss putting music into my videos. But with that, let's get into an outfit where I could go party and dance to music or something. I don't know. But maybe for a party outfit, we'll do like a short black dress. I'm going to turn off the party filter and see what I get, because I do want something kind of appropriate that I can go out in. Like, not like this. Not like that. This is kind of cute. I don't know. I kind of like this, but it's not like fancy enough. Like, this is cute. I could do this with a legging, like maybe like the skull leggings. Yeah, like this. This is cute. Okay. I want to do a different boot though. I like this boot. I just want a different boot. But that's a stiletto. I don't like stilettos. That's more of a chunky heel. I could do that. Okay, we could do like this for my party outfit. Maybe this for like a nice little party. I do want something a little bit more fun, just in case I have like an actual party I need to go to. I'm trying to get different stuff here. I guess I could do a skirt and a top as well if I wanted to. Okay, this is just fitting for this time. Wait, hold on. I want to put this with like this and a different shoe, like maybe a shorter shoe. I guess we have the original boots. Okay, we could do this outfit just because it's appropriate for the time. This is more what I would actually wear. This is cute for the time period that I'm trying to put myself in. And then I wanted something a little bit more fancier. Okay, this is cute. I could see myself wearing this, and maybe even like some wedges or something with it. Maybe a different one of these. Yeah, I kind of like this, just straight up black tights. Some gloves. Like, what if we put her with these like black gloves? This is cute. Okay, that's a bit more nicer of a look. This fits in the time period and style I'm going for. And this is more what I would actually wear to just like a party. Alright, so there's that. And next, we can move on to the swimwear, which brings me to my next fun fact, which we already went over the fact that I'm an animal lover of all sorts, but I think my favorite animal and my spirit animal is a cat. Like, I know my name is Cat, so that may be kind of obvious, but I was not allowed to have a dog until I was in middle school, because before I was born, my sister was almost killed by a dog. And I do not mean that with any exaggeration. Like, her jugular was pulled out, and the doctor, like, just did not think she would make it. And years later, he met her again, and he just cried, and he was like, I'm not a religious person, but he was like, that was a miracle of God. That was not my work. Like, there's no way you should have made it through that. And like, so we weren't allowed to have dogs growing up until my therapist was like, maybe you should get her a dog. And then, of course, I was a dog lover from there on. But I grew up with only cats and, small animals like birds and whatnot, but never allowed to have a dog. So I only had cats. So I felt like, with my sisters being 12 and plus years older than me, that the cats were like my playmates growing up. So like, they literally had to train me not to act like a cat, because I spent so much time with the cats. So I just feel like my spirit animal is a cat. But with that being said, let's go ahead and do my swimwear. So I typically do put my hair up when I go swimming. I know I don't know. I feel like a lot of people just leave their hair down, but I very much prefer putting my hair up when I go swimming. Maybe like this. I look weird without my bangs, so I don't know. I kind of like this because it still has some hair in the front. Okay, I guess this is more accurate to what my hair would look like if it was French braided, because it's about the right length, but I can't French braid my actual hair. All right, but I like this outfit. I really do. But maybe we can add a second one that's a little bit more fitting of the time. Oh, that one's cute too. Okay, I'll give myself that one too. But I don't know. I was thinking something like this or like this. I feel like this is good for the time period. There's also this, but I don't know if I would. I mean, it's cute. I don't know if I could handle that material being wet on my shoulders. So I think I'm going to give myself this. And maybe with this one, I can give myself sunglasses. I can give myself an option to wear sunglasses sometimes. And honestly, these are probably the vibe I would go for. I feel like that's the vibe I would go for. All right. So there's my swimwear. And now we have my hot weather wear. Oh yeah, I was going to get myself rainbow shirt for one of my sleepwears. All right, hold on. Let me do that, because I did say I was going to do that. I'll do that with my shorts. There it is. I was going to give myself this for one of my sleepwears. Okay, I have 5 sleepwears now. Anyways, we were going on to hot weather wear, which I'm going to have to change this because that's not going to work for the time period. I keep saying time period as if I'm like specifically putting myself in medieval time period, but I say that because like the town was very like goth medieval times. But anyways, so for the next one, my hot weather wear, my favorite season and my obsession, and probably what you could tell from my style as I've been doing this makeover, is that I am obsessed with the fall and the Halloween season. Anything spooky. Like, I'm not really into scary horror, but like spooky is my vibes. Bats, spiders, black cats, witches, ghosts, little jack-o'-lanterns, candy, trick-or-treating, all of the pagan traditions that come with Halloween and Hallows Eve and all that. I literally got married on All Hallows Eve. Like, I am obsessed with Halloween. Like, I like Christmas. I like Thanksgiving. I even actually kind of like Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day. But there's just something about Halloween that is just part of me to the core. Like, I'm your spooky little goth girl. Like, I mean, I don't know if I would call myself, I'm a lazy emo goth girl. When I do my makeup, I look the part. It's just, I'm lazy, and most of the days I don't do my hair and makeup. I'm just like, I wear all black, and I like spooky decor and dress wear. So that's my vibe, is spooky vibes. I'm obsessed with Halloween. But let's go ahead and give ourselves something else to wear here. So I can go ahead and give myself an outfit with pants. That's fine. But I want to give myself a shirt that's not just like a t-shirt. This is cute. No, this is cute and could totally work for what I was doing. Okay, so let's do that. Maybe we'll do our hair in like an updo. We have this. This is cute. This like just braid. And if I have the long hair like I have in my dream world, this braid would be accurate. So let's do this braid. And then maybe we'll do a look with a short. Something like this. Something like this. And do a legging, like take the hot weather filter off. Do something like this. And then another shirt that would be fitting, that I would actually wear. And this actually gets covered with these shorts. Okay, I don't hate that. I don't like these shorts though. The shorts are not cutting it for me. Maybe we could get, those are cute. I just don't know if I would actually wear them. I need something that's not athletic vibes. I mean, that's kind of cute. It has a little pack on it, but it has gold. I'm not a big gold fan. Oh, this has a cute little purple tie on it. Okay, maybe I'll do that because I do like the color purple. Maybe we'll go with that as a regular outfit. And then we need like a dress, like a short dress that would kind of fit the neighborhood, not the time period, the neighborhood that we're in. If we decide to go out in hot weather wear, that's not my vibe. Oh, something like this though. Wait, hold on. Do they have, of course it only comes in gold. But I think this would be worth it wearing in gold. I don't know. Maybe that. Well, maybe I'll give myself that either way. Let's just find or should I like this better? No. No, I don't really do flower print. I thought those were cherries. I do fruit print. I don't do flower print. I did put this on. I guess I would wear this, but I think I would wear it with stompy boots, which is not super hot weather vibes, but maybe we'll just put on like the smaller stompy boots. That could be a hot weather outfit. And this I was gonna pair with a different legging and a different shoe, so we could maybe put like some of these on. And where's those wedges that I wore in my party wear? Or these work too. Those are cute. I can't decide if I like this outfit. I want to like this outfit, but something's off about it. Maybe it's the leggings, because I do like the dress. Something's off. Maybe I could wear like these leggings and do a different accessory. That makes me want to change the type of shoe. Maybe the boot isn't. We also have these boots, which are cute. We could wear these. Okay. So that could be a hot weather outfit. That's a hot weather outfit. That's a hot weather outfit. And that's a hot weather outfit. Which I know some of these look like, how would you wear these in hot weather? Especially when I live in Georgia. That is a fair question. But I don't know. I rather have some coverage on my legs than none at all, I guess. Alright. But that leads us to our last category, which is the cold weather category. Which leads us to our last fun fact, which is my other hobbies. So obviously I play The Sims and I play other games, but I'm also really into photography. So I really like playing with a camera. I never really liked having my picture taken, but I always liked being the one behind the camera. And pretty much like any photography I find fun. Nature and animals are definitely my favorite, but I also enjoyed taking wedding photos and, taking photos of people. I've done baby photos. Like I did my friend's first baby birthday party. I was the photographer there. I just really enjoy being behind the camera. I think that's because my dad used to always film me growing up. Like we had like a home video camera. And then when he died, I realized I had all these videos with his voice on it, but he was never in the video and I didn't have any pictures of him. And then when my mom met my stepdad, he was really into photography and he taught me about photography. And like pretty much since my dad died, I have just taken pictures of everything, like because I don't have enough pictures of my dad, and it made me realize I have to take pictures while I still can. And that just became my love of photography. I also pretty much love anything in the creative arts, pretty much like drawing, photography, photography. Writing, I'm really into painting, into playing with clay, like doing pottery. I really like any of that, and pretty much I took all my creative outlets and turned them into YouTube videos. So like the graphic designs and the photography I get to do on the thumbnails and taking pictures for the thumbnails, and I get to write out scripts, and I get to write out intros, so that does my writing, and pretty much everything but the drawing aspect I get to do, which graphic design and doing thumbnails is kind of same satisfactory. So I kind of pushed all that energy into making videos, and that's kind of how they all came together. Because like pretty much in high school, everyone was like, you have so many hobbies, how do you keep up with them all? And then when I discovered I could put my hobbies in with my gameplay and turn it into making videos, that's how I end up putting all my hobbies together. But pretty much all my hobbies are just having to do with creativity. I also do like dancing. Dancing's really fun to me. But other than that, I'm pretty much just a creative galley. Like, I don't have too many qualities and too many things I'm good at. But give me something creative to do, and I got this. I got this. Or something Sims related. I got this. But that is all the quote-unquote fun facts about myself. Now we can go ahead and do the final outfit. And honestly, I really like this outfit. I'm going to get myself a more fitting top. Like, I feel like I could find a top that's more fitting with what we're going for, but I do really like this outfit. This is pretty much what I would wear. So let's see if we can find a better top for this situation. So we could, let's see, I like this little trench coat moment. Maybe I could add a hat. I do like hats. I just keep forgetting to wear them. But out of all of the hats, I think a beanie is the classic favorite for me. So we could put a beanie on. That's cute. And then just one more, just that kind of fits the neighborhood. Let's say it correctly. The neighborhood. All right. So let's go ahead and let's see. I don't love that. That's me. That is what I would wear. There's this flannel. That's kind of cute. I also have this hoodie, and we have the Sims hoodie. We gotta wear that for one of the outfits, obviously. But there's not like a warm blouse or something. I guess there's this. Okay, that'll work. All right. Well, I think with that is going to be all my outfits. So let's go ahead and go back through the makeover real quick and just look at what we've changed. So I changed my personality traits to geek, creative, and self-assured. And then I'm a pet enthusiastic. And we already went over my preferences and whatnot. This is my face up close. I have the same makeup and accessories on every outfit. I have the pointy ears. I have the vampire teeth. And I have long red hair. The color changes all the time, but typically there is a black layer underneath. But this is our everyday wear looks that I will be wearing in the Let's Play. Super realistic to me. And then we have my formal look. So we have my wedding dress. We have this formal look for like funerals. We have this for like parties. We have this for like weddings, and then just a fancier outfit if it's like a super fancy wedding or like a ball or something. I don't know. Never know what's going to happen in this Let's Play. We may need something for all occasions. All right. But then we have the athletic looks. Probably won't be seeing these a lot, but they are required to have. And then our sleepwear. So this is what I sleep in and what I would sleep in, the style of this neighborhood, which I'm probably not going to go outside in my pajamas very much. So it doesn't matter if it blends in with the rest of the neighborhood. And then for party wears, we have what I would actually probably realistically wear to a party. And then we have this outfit, which fits like the neighborhood vibes. And we have this outfit, which is just a little bit nicer of a party wear. And then we have my swimwear, just a couple of basic outfits, you know, just something to have. And then we have my hot weather wear outfits. So they don't look super hot weathery, but they are realistically what I would wear in like a hot weather situation. And then we have the cold weather wear, which is quite simple, but I mean, cold weather is kind of simple, so you know, it's fitting. But that is my dream makeover, so keep an eye out in the next week or so for the start of my Soul's Journey mini Let's Play. And if you're new to my channel, I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoy getting to know me. Like I said, I am over on Instagram too, and I post on there whenever I post a video in here. And I hope you guys that are already around for the Sims content enjoy the non-Sim content as well that will be coming on the channel too. But for now, guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and do all that awesome stuff because you guys are awesome people. I'll see you next time. All right, bye!